Here's your news for January 14, 2020. We're kicking off today with news from the Royal Rumble, as Sarah Logan has become the fourth woman to announce her participation in the 30-woman Rumble match. Logan broke the news via a tweet she sent out before Raw and will join Charlotte Flair, Nikki Cross, and Alexa Bliss, who have also entered the match. As for the men's Rumble match, 13 superstars have been announced, including former winners such as Roman Reigns, Rey Mysterio, and Randy Orton, as well as AJ Styles, Ricochet, Eric Rowan, Drew McIntyre, Baron Corbin, Dolph Ziggler, Elias, and Heavy Machinery. WWE Champion Brock Lesnar, who won the 2003 Rumble match, will also be involved, and will enter at number 1. More news from the Royal Rumble, as the show will take place on January 26th at the Minute Maid Park in Houston, Texas. With huge matches including both men's and women's Royal Rumble matches, Daniel Bryan taking on the Universal Champion The Fiend Bray Wyatt, Raw Women's Champion Becky Lynch defending her title against Asuka, and Roman Reigns facing Baron Corbin before both men enter the men's Royal Rumble match, there's a lot for fans to tune in for. And now, the WWE has partnered with DraftKings for a challenge that will see one fan pocket $5,000. To enter, you simply log in to a DraftKings account and pick 12 superstars, 6 male and 6 female, to form your Rumble team. From there, your team can accumulate points through a variety of actions, and the person with the highest score wins the prize, or splits if things end in a tie. There's plenty of categories for a superstar to earn points, as if they enter either Rumble match, that's 50 points, while scoring the most eliminations will earn you 500 points. 205 points will be allocated if you choose either the number 1 or 30 participants, and if you choose the longest lasting superstar, you'll receive 400 points, while picking the shortest time will score you 200 points. Picking the overall Rumble match winner will score you a whopping 600 points, meaning that one lucky fan could be the real winner of the Royal Rumble when they win $5,000. With 2 Rumble matches, there will be plenty of superstars on the show, but despite rumors, Paige won't be appearing in the women's match, as despite rumors and hopes that she'll be able to return, she still isn't cleared to compete. While speaking on a conference call about the rumors of Edge and Paige returning, Triple H made the joke that Edge has kids, and Paige probably has some she doesn't know of. Seemingly a reference to Paige being the victim of personal photos and videos being leaked, the game's comment got a few laughs from reporters, and Triple H thanked them for the warm reception to his joke. The person who didn't see the funny side was Paige herself.
It's a medical decision. That is far from us. If our medical experts say that they believe that this person has done whatever to rehab their situation, and there could be multiple situations in anything. But if they've done all of that, and they're now safe to get back into the ring, we allow it. If they're not, and you see that with Daniel Bryan. None of us ever thought Daniel Bryan was going to step in the ring, at least not for us. And that was a question for him. I can't do it for you. Doesn't mean I can't do it for other places. But you have the conversation with him about if medical experts are telling you this isn't the best thing, right? But he worked extraordinarily hard for a long period of time to get himself back to a place physically where medical teams, the same people that disqualified him, were willing to say, yeah, okay, now I feel like this is a safe return. So if that's the case, when you're talking about people as talented as Edge, Paige, who wouldn't want them to return? I'm a fan just like everyone else, and I would love to see them step into the ring and compete. More importantly than that, though, I'd like to see them live long, healthy lives. Edge has kids. Paige, maybe she probably has some she doesn't know of. But thank you. Can you get some coffee for me? You want them to their health first, people first. This is great. This is all great, but at the end of the day, it's not everything.
Who, after seeing a clip of Triple H being posted online, tweeted, "Even my boss jokes about me. No wonder you guys still do it too." Though the game doesn't have a problem referencing a dark time in Paige's life, the former Divas champion has received support from co-workers such as Renee Young, who commented on how much Paige has been through and said we need real change while also criticizing the game. Nikki Bella also commented on the situation, and though the longest-reigning WWE Divas champion didn't specifically mention Paige or the King of Kings, she did speak about how people need to respect their co-workers and that change will never come if the company just see the roster as storylines. Nia Jax simply told Paige that she loves her, and though many fans hope for an in-ring return for the British star, she's still not medically cleared to compete. The fact that Paige has loved wrestling and now has to miss something she grew up doing has clearly taken a toll on the 27-year-old, and with her in-ring career over because of so many injuries, she is with WWE and being paid not to wrestle, something that she clearly would love to do, a situation that isn't funny at all. The last thing she needs is the WWE COO commenting about her troubling personal life, even as a joke. There's so far been no comment yet by WWE or Triple H, but we'll keep an eye on where this story goes. We're looking ahead to SmackDown now, and a tables match has been booked for this Friday's episode. On the show, Roman Reigns and Robert Roode will face each other, and this follows on from the ending of last week's show when the Glorious One returned and spinebustered Reigns into the announce table. When the table didn't break, Dolph Ziggler finished the job with an elbow drop that finally broke the wood, and this Friday's tables match will be Roode's first contest since he and Primo Colón were suspended for 30 days on December 10th for failing the company's wellness policy. At the time, Roode was written out of the story by being laid out by Reigns, and this was just one moment in the ongoing feud that's seen the big dog take on the trio of Corbin, Roode, and Ziggler. At TLC last month, Reigns lost a match to Corbin thanks to the interference of Ziggler, Roode, and The Revival, and Reigns also had to endure being covered in dog food recently, though when Corbin tried this idea again 2 weeks ago, he was blocked by the returning Usos, who came to the aid of their cousin. It's no doubt that Roode will be wanting to make an impact when he makes his in-ring return at the Greensboro Coliseum complex in Greensboro, North Carolina, but that may be easier said than done against the former Universal Champion. Over to Impact Wrestling now, and Tessa Blanchard has had quite the media storm before the biggest match of her year at Hard to Kill. At the show, Blanchard became the first female Impact World Champion, completing a long storyline in the process, though it seems there's now a reason why she never ended up in WWE after the Mae Young Classic. During Wrestling Observer Radio, Dave Meltzer said that, quote, attitude issues prevented her from being signed to WWE years ago, and gave a short story about the impression she left during her WWE tryout. Meltzer said, she did not get a developmental deal there in WWE because of attitude issues, I guess, is how you would put it, and she ended up in Impact. The reason Impact knew they had her, despite how talented she is, a lot of people wanted to steer clear of her for all the reasons that came out, and she had a lot of enemies. She made a tweet, and whatever the deal was, it inflamed a lot of people from her past, and they all came out. Meltzer also said that there was nobody in Impact who didn't know the stories about Blanchard, but that her past didn't change their plans since the title win had been building for a year. Now that Blanchard is the world champion, it'll be interesting to see where the company goes from here, especially after Puerto Rican wrestler La Rosa Negra released a video recently talking about the support she's received. La Rosa Negra has claimed that during a Stardom event, Blanchard used a racial slur against her, and this story has been corroborated by several others, and the Puerto Rican star used her video to thank those who have supported her, including NXT's Chelsea Green. Negra also said that she generally doesn't talk about her personal life and had moved on from the incident, especially saying that she gave it to God. While she didn't go into details about the incident herself, she thanked the fans for her support as well, and like we said, it'll be interesting to see what direction Impact goes from here after everything that's come out about their new world champion. Back to WWE now, and Rusev is currently going through a storyline on Raw that is getting quite a lot of focus, but that doesn't mean the former US champion will stay with the company. Recently, the Bulgarian Brute changed his Twitter profile name to Miro, and though he isn't the first WWE superstar to change their name on social media to reflect their legal name, Rusev's profile is what piqued the interest of fans. In his bio, Rusev describes himself as a, quote, soon-to-be free agent, and this is very interesting considering what details have come out about the Bulgarian's contract. It wasn't too long ago that his real-life wife Lana signed a multi-million-dollar 5-year deal with WWE, but at the time, it was reported that Rusev had yet to sign a deal as he was hammering out the details. Whether Rusev re-signs with WWE remains to be seen, but it seems like Rusev Day may finally be over if he chooses to leave this year. Over to Raw now, and this week's show saw plenty of action, including an epic triple threat match to open the show. In the opener, Drew McIntyre continued his path of momentum towards the Royal Rumble, defeating two former WWE champions, Randy Orton and AJ Styles. Up next, Ricochet got the victory over Mojo Rawley in singles action, while Charlotte Flair defeated Sarah Logan in singles action. In the tweet we mentioned earlier where Logan announced herself for the Women's Royal Rumble match, the real-life Viking also challenged the Queen, but it seems she bit off more than she could chew on this occasion. In this second appearance on Raw in a row, WWE Champion Brock Lesnar commented on being the #1 entrant in the Royal Rumble match, but it wasn't long before the Beast was interrupted by 24/7 champion R-Truth. As you can expect, this didn't end well for the rapping superstar, who was laid out by the Beast, though Brock chose not to capture the 24/7 championship. Instead, it was Mojo Rawley who stole the gold with a quick pin on Truth, as despite the loss he suffered earlier in the night, Mojo's night ended with a win. After promising the return of the Bulgarian Brute last week, Rusev certainly tried to hold his own when he faced off against Bobby Lashley, but in the end, it was the Destroyer who emerged victorious. This win actually came around thanks to Liv Morgan, who confronted Lana at ringside, leading the momentarily distracted Rusev to be stopped in his tracks by a Lashley spear. Up next, the Raw Tag Team Champions, the Viking Raiders, issued an open challenge, which led to the duo making quick work of the Singh brothers. Fans had a break from the action for a brief moment, as up next was the contract signing between Becky Lynch and Asuka for their Raw Women's Championship match at the Royal Rumble pay-per-view. Moments after the pair inked their deal, Asuka once again leveled Becky with the green mist, though the man, never someone lost for words, promised that if she's going down at the Rumble, then she's taking Asuka with her. In a Match of the Year candidate, Aleister Black and Buddy Murphy faced off once again, and for the third time, it was the former NXT champion who got the win. This loss was a tough one for Murphy to take, as he hit a picture-perfect Murphy's Law that would have won the match if not for a rope break, and even kicked out of a Black Mass. With Black now 3-0 against the Australian, it seems this feud is finished for good, as we wonder what these two will do next. After Eric Rowan defeated yet another local competitor but was bitten by whatever he has been carrying with him for the past few months, it was time for the main event, which saw Seth Rollins and the AOP face Kevin Owens, Samoa Joe, and The Big Show in the first WWE fist fight. As the three faces dominated Rollins and the AOP in a match that would only end via stoppage, the self-professed Monday Night Messiah did have a savior on Raw, but it just wasn't him. Instead, Rollins was able to get the help of Buddy Murphy, who was still distraught after losing to Black, and with the extra man advantage, Rollins, Akam, and Rezar were able to pummel the Big Show until the Giant was unable to compete, giving them the victory. With Murphy as the newest member of his flock, there's no telling what Rollins will be able to achieve on Raw, as it may just be a matter of time before the Architect wins his second Men's Royal Rumble match in a row and gets another shot at becoming WWE Champion.